farm no bi enti wontimi nkose wokọ akodo dodo ana se wokọ wakodua nuane wo ho enti wodi kai set up plantation ni bibia wie uwia no agya moa na gum na agya moa no gum a wobehia omo so a wo mo di plane ebe fa biem no mas asebo emoa ne nuane ne ade na proud to that no what training expert for wo mo so ebe hwe kwaya friend say omo ebe hwe moa no so boa bi yare a ebetima wo no pane ne ade na sanyoma we nyina na e ba so a ebe boa ma omo mawie agric e wa agric KNUST Legon womu nyina benya adwuma ye
with all that we are saying I'm quite confused.
Okay.
My confused kakra am confused and say animal really no say ye animal farming no sa jatani we ni nyina no ebe benefits.
Yeah, yes, reason is ebe my tourist attraction.
Okay, good.
Because ukopudon now
more of tourism than say ye re animal na
to that no so no emo na kasa no ubetimi a export to be.
Okay.
U export no na sika no dey enioma na ekọ no na unya dollars ne ba na be wo sika sama dey agina.
Okay.
Proud to that no they will make a exportation no movement how be no adwe say wo di enioma ni bi kọ no ha na dey kọ no wo dey kọ no wo benya dollars na ba dollars ba because country bia na wo kan enioma more than the export to bia no country na ho den dey eba fom and na Dr. Mahama Bawumia ba ya went me anya wa ma ho chaba eti wo mo we extension officers ne ade ni nyina no wo benya adwuma ye wo mo ye ayi for machinery for no ye beto wo offensive land ni nyina omuso benya adwuma ye proud to that Dr. Mahama Bawumia eba ya oka say obey one district one factory went me and he was John Dramani Mahama say under one district one factory no wono de oba bebe.
As we celebrate the birthday of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, here's a calculation about his age, election 2024, and his position as number 1 on the ballot. The coincidental birthday estimation. With 61 days left until the elections, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia turns 61. That is 6 plus 1 is equal to 7, where 7 is the election day in December. Now, the NDC is number 8 on the ballot. 8 minus 7 is equal to number 1, which just happens to be Dr. Bawumia's position on the ballot. But beyond that, it is the record of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia as a politician that creates the buzz about this new MPP leader. His tenacity and campaign style, which has always focused on issues, data, and policy initiatives. Here is Mahamudu Bawumia campaigning in the 2012 election.
Was what allowed us as the MPP under President Kufuor to introduce the National Health Insurance against the protests of the NDC. We didn't stop there. We added the National Youth Employment Program. We added the school feeding program, the capitation grant program, the Metro Mass Transit program, the free maternal care program, the Maslock program, the LEAP program, and all of these programs from a HIPIC low-income economy. And this is why we are very confident that with the oil resources, we can certainly deliver the free senior secondary school education that Nana Akufo-Addo has promised.
The 2012 campaign was massive on free SHS. It was the same election that Mahamudu Bawumia and Akufo-Addo lost to John Dramani Mahama. Yes, they lost the election, but they won the campaign and they kept their promise alive. Here is Nana Akufo-Addo, also in 2012, focusing on education and free SHS.
I don't think it's a secret that I have made education the top priority in the future Akufo-Addo government, God willing. And I'm doing so for a very simple reason. The development of our human resources is the single most important matter that we have to address and resolve, if indeed we are going to transform our economy and generate prosperity for the mass of our people.
This particular 2012 campaign even produced a song on free SHS.
Teacher fest, hooray! Mothers and fathers, aunties and uncles, grandma and grandpa, help the children of Ghana by voting for Nana Akufo-Addo and the NPP for free SHS.
Oh, help the NPP to help us go all the way through. Free SHS is the key. Vote for Nana and the NPP. Thank you.
We are happy, we thank you, Nana. We are happy, we thank you, Nana Akufo-Addo. We are very, very happy. The children of Ghana are so happy with the free SHS. Free senior high school, quality education. Teacher fest, hooray! Mothers and fathers, aunties and
All right, good evening. Welcome to another special edition of the program. Good evening, Ghana. What's the time now? Is 27 minutes to the top of the hour at 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock, sorry. It's 9:33 or so. Did Manchester United win the game? It ended 1-1. Okay. We have a great show tonight, don't we? One of the important parts of tonight's show is that we're going all the way to the United States to tell you what it means about electoral votes. We're going to use the Ghana national map and so to sort of work out with Professor Sikan, who is in the studio. He's going to be our touchscreen man to show us what we mean by electoral votes and how does the America count its electoral votes. And how is it that somebody can win the popular votes and another person wins the electoral college votes? We'll show you that tonight. We've been postponing it for 2 programs, isn't it? Tonight we are ready for it. Okay. Also, our book launch date is getting near, and so if we have the occasion, we'll show you some aspects of the book, which is almost certainly ready now. We can enjoy that as well. Okay. Then we also do have a continuation of the data analysis that we're doing the other day. You know, we're talking about regional voting and how that influences the outcome of elections in Ghana since 2008. And we're saying about which region is more important to which candidate. That kind of follows the American analysis. And I picked a lot from there, looking at a guy called John King on CNN, who goes on a touchscreen. And what John King does is that he's telling you what is the Democrats' path to victory and what is the Republican path to victory. So we looked at this on our own and say, what is the NDC path to victory? What is the MPP path to victory? Those of you who watch this program regularly, we have started that analysis. Tonight we'll continue with it on the touchscreen. Okay, let's get ready now and begin on the touchscreen. What do I need? I need my reading glasses and my mobile phone. Once I get those two here, then we're good to go and we are in the balance. Okay, today I have a lot to say, isn't it? Alexander Fenyo-Markin is still fighting with Joy FM, isn't he? With 44 days more to go to the election, we are waiting for Parliament to reconvene. Parliament to be reconvened, and we will decide, or we will see who has the majority and who has the minority. It's a total waste of time, isn't it? I mean, Ghana, we waste time with too many things. Why do you go on a tangent of something that you know that you cannot sustain eventually? But anyway, sometimes it's politics. Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia has been campaigning in the Lion's Den. He had the audacity to go to the Volta region and to all the Ketu North, Ketu South places, the beautiful places in Hohoi, in Zelukopa, in Sogakopa, in Adudome. Muhammadu Bawumia is in all of those beautiful places, hoping to draw the chestnuts from the blazing fire, and hoping that he can pull out the burning scorpion from the mouth of the hippopotamus out there in the Volta region. But he seems to be getting encouragement by the kind of attendance that he's getting. Let's go over to the touchscreen now and see what attendance Mahama Bawumia is getting in the Volta region. That's quite interesting because it shows that Ghana's democracy has come of age. Many years ago, people who were supporting the MPP could not campaign in the Volta region. Kwabene Japan has all those examples of people being chased with stones and thrown away not to campaign in the Volta region. John Kufuor, I understand, also found it very difficult to campaign in the Volta region. It's a testimony to Ghana's democracy that a candidate from the NPP is able to campaign solidly in the Volta region and have this kind of audience in the Volta region. There I can see the parliamentary candidates for Sojaman in there. Pius Enam Hajide is on the seat there. Dr. Bawumia seems very excited. And this was in the Volta region where the MPP is expected to do badly, as they often do. And this looks like a sizably good crowd for the kind of results the MPP gets in the Volta region. This is a good crowd. You know, the NDC also doesn't do well in that region, but they're able to show big crowds in the Ashanti region. But if you look at the numbers of what the MPP gets, what the NDC gets, the NDC is getting something like 200,000 votes in Ashanti region. So they can always put up 20,000 people on the road. 20,000 on the road is a lot. But the MPP don't get that. They don't get 100,000 votes in the Volta region. So when they start showing off crowds like this, that should sound impressive. But we won't know until results start coming on December 7th to determine whether these photographs we're seeing have something to do. But it is certainly encouraging. And if you look at the photographs closely, you'll see the genuine enthusiasm on their faces. If you look at it closely, there they've all been asked to raise their hand and say number one, I believe, and that's what they are saying. They have to change the video for me. I expanded it. Yeah, I like the way it's expanded, but now I can't move it on. Okay, yeah, all right. So, okay, great. I got it. All right, so that's the video from photographs from Dr. Bawumia in the Volta region. Is it not amazing? Is it not completely amazing? Oh, the touchscreen nearly went up. Oh, I like this one. This guy looks like a real Togbe. Hi, viewers, are you watching his face? Please put his face, put a photograph on the screen for viewers to look at it themselves. Yeah, they can see it. Viewers, can you expand the screen in your house? This is a real Togbe Gan, proper one. This is not Togbe view, Togbe Gan. Hi, the guy is very brutal and he is very, very MPP, completely impressed by Mahama Bawumia. And there is Dr. Bawumia always engaging with the traditional authority, chiefs and queen mothers all over the Volta region. There you go. That's the chiefs talking about Dr. Bawumia. Maybe we can lead on straight from here to the Adaklu chief. I think that's better before we come to John Mahama. Yes, that's the parliamentary candidate who hopes that he can win that seat for the MPP in the Volta region. That's always going to be very difficult, but Dr. Bawumia is showing. I identify Abe Fakabo on the stage as well, always in the presence and the company of Dr. Bawumia. That's also some entertainment for the audience, young people mounting on the masquerade steps so they can show the people of Volta region what to do. Whoa, campaign is almost like a Christmas season where people are enjoying themselves. Planting for food and jobs, they have it there. Teacher training, college, allowances, upgrade. That's Mahama Bawumia who is fighting this campaign. He's really fighting this campaign. And I'm sure that you can't doubt it, that Dr. Bawumia has campaigned more than any of the candidates on the presidential ballot. And that's something to be said for him. Maybe he's one of the youngest on the campaign, but he has demonstrated that he has a lot of energy, agility, and desire to pick up this electoral victory in the 2024 presidential elections. I like this senior citizen too. There you go. This guy is also very interesting. There's a senior citizen of the Volta region who has come out to look at Dr. Bawumia's campaign, and he's also quite excited about it. Okay. Whilst we are talking about Dr. Bawumia, and I think there are some more photographs to come. Yeah, this we already saw in black and white. I believe the same photograph. I'm not sure where they had met. Now, this is an important meeting between Mahama Bawumia and one of the important chiefs in the Volta region. And you look at the commandery and the spirit of the meeting, you can tell that there's admiration in the room. People are admiring the young man. This chief must be very enamored of Mahama Bawumia. Look at his countenance as he addresses Dr. Bawumia, and you can tell that he's listening with rapt attention. This must be the chief's palace. Many chiefs are seated there, Dr. Bawumia and his team, and they are listening to him. This was in Ketu South, because I can see the Ketu South constituency chairman. This is really in the belly of the lion. Okay, so Dr. Bawumia has been campaigning in the Volta region, and this is what the Adaklu chief said about him when he went there. This is what Adaklu chief said. Have a look at it.
Dankwa Akufo-Addo, that Adaklu district had the first police station constructed, which subsequently led to the construction of an office accommodation for a district police commander. It is true that this administration, Adaklu district, has seen the construction of the first third road leading to the district capital. It is also true that under your administration, a district court with accommodation for judges has been constructed. Mr. President, Adaklu district shall have a district hospital by 2024 under the Agenda 111 initiative. The soil has been cut and construction work is ongoing speedily. As if that is not enough, it is true that under your administration, Adaklu district is enjoying the first pipe-borne water system. An answer to our ancestors' cry and prayers. We are eternally grateful, Mr. President. Today, as you commission this water system, permit me to refer to the Igbo proverb, "He who brings kola brings what? Life," and state that he who brings water brings life. You have brought life to the people of Adaklu, and on dependence on rivers as well as streams, especially for drinking, has become a thing of the past.
That was the chief of Adaklu speaking about Akufo-Addo and what Akufo-Addo has done for the people of Adaklu. Now, let's still stay on the campaign trail. Let's look at John Dramani Mahama. Oh, that's a good one. So he was in Pong Katamanso, and they dressed him like a warrior, like a Wulomo, a warrior of the Pong people. That's John Dramani Mahama. This is the chief, one of the chiefs of Pong, I believe. John Mahama seated in the, standing in the room. I guess that is the chief's palace. I can see Ashin Moore, Julius Debra, and Valerie Sawyer. Okay. Yeah, we've seen John Mahama in the room already. Don't they have John Mahama in outdoor? Oh, I can see Adekoka as well, former regional chairman of the NDC, and this is some of the Wulomo people. Joshua Alabi and Ashimo in the picture. When John Mahama met them in the room, one of the NDC officials, I guess. Some of the men interacting with the former president. Oh yeah, that looks like a beautiful interaction. I'm guessing that is the regional House of Chiefs that President Mahama went to see, shaking hands with the officials, I believe, before the event. This is again Ashimo seated with former President John Dramani Mahama. This is one of the NDC officials. Oh yeah, this is the photograph I'm looking for. That's the enthusiasm. You can tell that this is very, very genuine support and enthusiasm for the NDC candidate and John Dramani Mahama. I mean the NDC parliamentary candidate and John Dramani Mahama in, oh yeah, the NDC ladies were there to give the event the circumstance and the pomp that it deserves. And so you can see all of them are here. Yeah. I like this NDC t-shirts, very modern, very contemporary. The way they do it, very, very contemporary. More of the Mahama for President t-shirts here. This is all happening in Pone. This is a lady who goes to kneel before John Mahama. They also have the notice of poll over there, and I'm sure that they're using it to show people how to vote. Okay, that's an interesting photograph. This is one of the people talking at the rally, at the event at Pone. That was John Dramani Mahama. It's also in Pone. Now, let's get to another story just before we pick up the main stories for tonight. Let's get to another story. Alexander Afenyo-Markin, the majority leader in Parliament, has been fighting with Joy FM, and today he's been in the news again. What has he done? He's marshaled the signatures of 15 persons and is hoping to trigger the provision in the standing orders and the 1992 Constitution, I believe is 112, I think, where the 40% of Parliament can call for people, for 40% of Parliament can write to the Speaker when there's recess and ask that on an emergency account, all the members of Parliament return to the House. This is the memo that Alexander Afenyo-Markin has signed to the Speaker, and it reads as follows. It says, to the Right Honourable Speaker, from 2nd Deputy Majority Chief Whip, the date is 22nd October 2024, subject, notice of meeting by request under Article 1123 and Order 53 of the Standing Orders. Right Honourable Speaker, respectfully, Right Honourable Speaker, respectfully, on behalf of myself and the requisite number of members of Parliament from the Majority Caucus, I have the honour to address you on a matter of utmost national importance. In accordance with Article 1123 of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, 1992, and the Standing Order 53 of the Parliament of Ghana, we hereby formally request a meeting of Parliament. The signatories of members making this request are hereto attached. Legal basis for the request. To ensure clarity and emphasize the legal foundation of this request, we respectfully draw your attention to the following provisions presented in order of constitutional and procedural hierarchy. Article 1123 of the 1992 Constitution, which states that, notwithstanding any other provision of this article, 15% of members of Parliament may request a meeting of Parliament, and the Speaker shall, within 7 days after the receipt of the request, summon Parliament, unquote. 2. Standing Order 53, Clause 1, reiterates, quote, despite any other provision, 15% of the members of Parliament may request a meeting of Parliament, and the Speaker shall, within 7 days after the receipt of their request, summon Parliament, unquote. So, 3. Standing Order 53.2 further stipulates, quote, Parliament shall convene within 7 days after the issuance of a notice of summons, unquote. 4. Standing Order 57.3 provides, quote, the Speaker may summon a sitting of the House before the date or time to which the House has been adjourned, or at any date or time after the House has been adjourned sine die. Quote. 5. Standing Order 58.4 states, the Speaker shall summon Parliament within a period determined by the Speaker, and the requirements for a 14-day notice shall not apply where there is an emergency. Okay. It continues. We respectfully request that upon recall of the House, the following urgent government business be deliberated upon and transacted, including any other business that comes before the House. Number 1, request for tax exemptions for designated beneficiaries under the One District, One Factory program. Number 2, Ghana Financial Stability Fund, an International Development Association facility of 252 million United States dollars, and then 3 bills: Environmental Protection Agency Bill 2024, Social Protection Bill 2023, Customs Amendment Bill 2024, Budget Bill 2023, Ghana Boundary Commission Bill 2023, Interstate Succession Bill 2022. Context and justification. As Mr. Speaker may recall, Parliament had adjourned sine die on Tuesday, 22nd October 2024, without any explanation to the circumstances leading to the adjournment. You may also recall that at conclave, you confirmed the service of a Supreme Court order which was explicit. At the time, the above stated items had been advertised and scheduled to be carried. We wish to emphasize that this request is made in utmost good faith and in the national interest to enable the government to discharge its constitutional and democratic obligations to the people of Ghana. The matters outlined herein are of pressing importance and require the urgent attention of Parliament. Request for action. Considering the constitutional and statutory provisions cited above and in the exercise of our rights as members of Parliament, we respectfully urge you to summon Parliament for a meeting within the stipulated 7-day period. We stand ready to provide any additional information or clarification that may be required and look forward to your favorable consideration of this request. Respectfully submitted and signed, Alexander Afenyo Markin. Is that him who signed? No, he didn't sign. It's the Deputy Majority Leader who signed it. Okay, 10 minutes at top of the hour, 10 o'clock. So I have seen the Afenyo Markin conversation with Joy FM. I've seen it. And I'm going to show you some of the video. And many people have said that the video was harsh and that he shouldn't have been harsh on the media house and all of that. I get that. The only reason why I kind of agree with Afenyo Markin is that I think media houses must also learn to play the advocacy game. Okay? Media houses must learn to play the advocacy game. In England and America, they do it. What do I mean by that? There was confusion in Parliament. Yes, there was. No one can say there wasn't. NDC said their majority MPP. For those who understand the legal processes, they knew that there was no confusion. Somebody just trying to create confusion. Yes, but there was something in Parliament that required the Speaker to call police and soldiers and all of that. Okay. So if you're a media house and you really want to play the advocacy card, what you do is that you write to the Clerk of Parliament, Joy FM, letter dated so, Clerk of Parliament. Mr. Clerk, this is Joy FM newsroom. All right. We have been following the incidents in Parliament. We do not understand what has happened. The Speaker says he's here to receive notice. Can you confirm to us, as at the close of business on 22nd October, which group is the majority group and which group is the minority group? That's how media should play the game, because you are raising yourselves to that standard. But then if media doesn't do that, and media says that Afenyo Markin is no longer majority leader, then Afenyo Markin is right to condemn the media house the way he did. Because you're a media house. You just have to write to the clerk that, Mr. Clerk, we are Joy FM newsroom, we are City FM, we are Metro TV, we are Asempa TV, whatever. And say that, you see, the media we must give ourselves a lot of respect. We must lift the standard in the game. We must lift it. We must be, and today, almost every media house has a lawyer in there. Almost every newsroom has a lawyer called to the bar in there. So we should bring up the standard. We should fight at the level of the politicians. We shouldn't let them come and talk down on us like Afenyo Markin was doing. And why shouldn't he do that? You're a media house, and then you start announcing that somebody is majority and somebody is minority. Who told you that? Because there's this debate on issues. The Constitution says when there's a confusion about the vacancy of the seat, it is the High Court who does it. Article 99, you can read it yourself. So if you're a media house, you write to Afenyo Markin or you write to the Clerk of Parliament and say that, Mr. Clerk, can you confirm at the close of day, to December 22nd, at the close of business, 22nd October 2024, who is majority, who is minority? You can add if you want, that at the close of day, we want to understand which people occupy the following offices of Parliament. 1, Speaker. So you're asking the clerk, who is Speaker of Parliament? 2, who is First Deputy Speaker? Who is Second Deputy Speaker? Which group constitutes the majority and who is the majority leader? And which group constitutes the minority? And yours faithfully, Joy FM. Thank you very much. Clerk of Parliament, you write a letter to him on 22nd October. When the Clerk of Parliament replies on the 23rd of October, then Joy FM, that is your story. So when Afenyo Markin starts talking, you tell him that, Mr. Leader, the Clerk of Parliament wrote to us like this. But if you don't do that, and you are following a certain political group, one group says I'm majority, another group says I'm not majority, and you decide to follow one of them, what kind of, that's why people don't respect the media. That's why they don't respect media. Because you are Joy FM. NDC say I'm minority, MPP say I'm majority. At which point did you make the decision that you agree with MPP or that you agree with NDC? At which point did you make that decision? This is the problem. This is the problem. The problem is not about Fenyomakin ranting on Joy FM. This is the problem. You are a media house. Two important groups are fighting in Parliament. One says, as a result of what the Speaker did, I am majority. The other said, as a result of what the Supreme Court did, I am the majority. As a media house, at which point do you make the decision that you are agreeing with this or you are agreeing with that? You need not make that decision. You need to write a letter to the Clerk of Parliament to indicate that you understand how the political system works. And that's how media will be respected. You think if there's a law firm that has to file something for majority or minority, they will follow like that? They will write to the Speaker. They will write that, Mr. Speaker, they will write to the clerk. Who is the majority in Parliament? That is why the clerk at table, on the day of the meeting, said that he has not changed the designation of names because the designation of names are determined by the clerk. So why would Joy FM allow themselves? Listen to what Afenyomakin said. Listen, have a listen. Listen to it.
Role as a media house is to help our democracy. Joy is becoming notorious. Joy FM is becoming notorious for misinforming and doing mischief. Yesterday they were quick to say that there is now a minority leader and a majority leader. I will not take any of that. I will say it, you can go and bash me, but I will assert my right. It's my bona fide. Your role as a media house is to play your role objectively and help the cause of democracy. City FM does it well. OK FM does it well. Peace FM does it well. GH1. There are other media houses. They express their opinions, but they do the right thing. You are quick, always, to mislead people, and it's not right. Joy FM, I'm saying it today. You can single me out and start your mischief to destroy my brand. I don't really care. The time has come for the country to tell Joy FM that do it right and do it perfectly. That is all the point I want to make to you. So ask your question. Yes.
Yeah, so that's what Afenyomakin put out, and that's what they said. They said Afenyomakin was a bit too harsh and something like that. But this is the issue. If you're a media house and parliamentarians are describing themselves in different ways and there's conflict among how they're describing themselves, and you need to report on the story, you need to describe somebody as leader of the majority, you need to describe somebody as leader of the minority. If you're a media house, what you do is that you write to the Clerk of Parliament. You write to the clerk at table and say, Mr. Clerk, who is your majority leader? Who is your minority leader? Whatever the clerk tells you, you can run with it. If you run with what the clerk tells you, Afenyomakin will not be able to say the things he said about your company. He can't. Because you are, but when you do what you have done, how did Joy FM know that NDC is the majority? Because NDC said so. How did Joy FM know that MPP is the minority? Because NDC told them that MPP is minority. How did Oman FM say that nothing has changed in Parliament? Because MPP told them so, that nothing has changed in Parliament. So if you really are a media house and you want to understand, you don't listen to what MPP said and what NDC said. But because sometimes we have deranged in this work to the point where we don't do anything. We just take a microphone, MPP say something, NDC say something, then you clash the two, then you have a story. That's how they do it these days. We ourselves don't go and research the material and say that where is the information? What is happening here? What is the case? What has the Supreme Court said about this? We don't do any of those things. We just do, NDC, come, Samin come. Samin, so now you people are minority in Parliament, then you give him microphone. Yes, then he says, yes, we are minority in Parliament. And like John Dramani Mahama said, because God knows that we are going to be minority that has come early, we are our bona fides is the majority, and we are going to sit there. Okay, then you finish Samin Jefi, so half the story is done. Yes, Nana B, come. Samin Jefi says you people are minority. Say, no, how can Samin Jefi say that? Then you go and listen to the news. It's 12 o'clock, here's Joy News. Okay. Samin Jefi says that. He said, meanwhile, then the story has ended. What about you, the media house? Where is your research work? You are the one informing the general public. General public did not tune in to 99.7 or 97.3 City to listen to Samije View. They tuned in to listen to City Radio or to Joy FM or to OK FM or to Asempa Radio. That's what they tune in to listen. So you have a responsibility to put out information That has to be correct. You do not always listen to MPP, NDC, and then you put the story together. You must have. So that after you have said what MPP has said, after you've said what NDC has said, they said that, okay, but now here's Joy News Research Desk, X number person. What did you find? He said, okay, we found out that there's a conflict between Article 77, 97, and 99. And how the conflict resolved, we spoke to this judge, he said this. We spoke to this person, he said this. Our in-house lawyer said this. Then you are beginning to build credibility for your media house. Because nobody wants media houses not to give their opinion. Everybody is happy with that. That's what Fenny was saying. You can give your opinion. What we render on the touch screen is purely our editorial opinion. We have to make sure that it's correct. Otherwise, people don't respect what we do. If we put things out here that are wrong, people don't respect what we do. If people don't respect what we do, we are out of business. So that's our responsibility, that whatever we put out here must be solid. And then we can add other opinions. People tune into Good Evening Ghana to watch Good Evening Ghana, not necessarily to listen to a politician. If listening to the politician helps them to form an opinion, they are happy that Good Evening Ghana brought that politician. Okay, they say I'm talking too much. I should stop. I'm very passionate about media stuff when it comes. But I saw my friend Captain Smart saying something when he got very disappointed about the NDC's inability to take up the majority seat in Parliament. He said something about NDC people. Look, listen to my friend God's brain. Listen.
NDC a useless grouping. And run NDC a useless grouping. And run NDC a useless grouping. And run NDC a useless grouping.
What do you say? And run Ajuna Mitias, yes, sir. And run Ajuna. It is not a problem. It is about the people who are advancing the course of the campaign for either candidate. I think that the people advancing the course of the campaign for John Mahama must step up their game. We have 44 days to go, but they still must step up their game, because as of today, everyone knows that Dr. Bawumia has done more campaigning than John Dramani Mahama. Well, did Dr. Bawumia need to do more campaigning? Yes, he did. He needed to. He was a government candidate. People said the economy is not working. People said he's a liar. He needed to come out of his shell and show the people what he has been doing in the back room. After 6 months, 4 months of the campaign trail, it appears that gradually people are beginning to hear Dr. Bawumia out. They're hearing him out. And it's sort of changing some things for his fortune in the December election. It's beginning to look another way. Okay, it's 1 minute past 10 o'clock on the clock. Let me bring in this conversation as we talk about campaign. And we'll be mounting the touchscreen very soon on the book, and then also on the American election. Wait for that. Okay, the message. You know, I was talking about John Mahama's campaign, and I've been concerned about it, that when we have elections in Ghana in 2028, we want it to be such that both political parties have a high-profile level of plans, programs, slogan, policy. We have to bring it up to that level. That's what I've been worried about. I've been worried about a campaign that doesn't seem to be pushing up to tell the youth that this is what I have for you. When the campaigns do that, it suggests that they don't respect the Ghanaian people. They don't care about them. Because you want people to vote for you, you really must have a message. You must put a message together. It may be wrong, it may be left, it may be right, but it is a message. You must have something that you are communicating to the people and telling them that this is the reason why I want you to vote for me. If you are not telling them the reason why you want them to vote for you, then why are you running the election? Why should they give you the power in the social contract, Rousseau's social contract? We should give you the power so that you can rule, but you're not telling us what you're going to use the power for. Because the power belongs to all of us, you see. So if we give it to one person, which we all do on December 7th, we have to at least know what that person is going to do. We are all not going to vote for him, and human beings all over the world don't vote because of policy only. People vote because of other reasons, and you have to grant human beings that. They vote because I may vote because somebody is handsome. I vote because he's tall. I vote for a woman because she's pretty. I vote for a man because he speaks my language. I vote for a man because his name is like my own.
Yes, there will be all of that kind of thing. It will be there. But it will be reduced to a significant minimum once the policy decisions, the big ticket issues, why are we voting for you? Here's a conversation between Ambassador Spielgabra, NDC stalwart, and City FM's Bernard Avle, speaking just after the 2016 election. And I'm suggesting to you that the things that Spielgabra said in that interview are relevant and present today. Have a look.
I've asked NDC communicators what was our communication message for 2016. They say, well, they can't remember it. I want to ask them what was MPP's message for Ghana in 2016. They rattle off a lot of things. 2016, Abaton, Abba message. Nyakacha Ghana for the Yaba. What to Abba Mahena Yebe? One of the your messages nibi. Obi Aman and Sado, Obi Aman and Sado. Messages are your there, Yeba. What to Abba Mahena? Yes, then. Any message? Oh, the man. Hey, slogan you then. Changing lives, transforming Ghana. Okay, we'll change your life and transform Ghana. I see. You see, MPP for message in one of the KB 2016 election. This is one fact. How about ZBO? I say. Very good. How about ZBO? Free SHS. One down.
These are your communicators.
NDC communicators, 58 of them in Ashanti region, and many other delegates I've met all over the country.
They couldn't
tell me what message NDC had for the people of Ghana in 2016. India, if you raise your hands, what was our message? No, seriously. And they say, well, we didn't have a message. Whatever message we had.
There is infrastructure, something.
No, they say, well, there's a green book, but the green book is not the message. And in the case, the green book only demonstrated that NDC had done wonderful infrastructure work. Yes, very important. But the election was not about the past. All elections are about the future.
All right, so you saw that one. Now, contrast Spielgabra's concerns with what Dr. Bawumia is telling the creative arts people. Have a look at that as well.
All the streaming platforms like Spotify and so on are all externally owned. And so when we put our music on those platforms, it's not surprising that the returns in terms of the payments that are made to our musicians are very little. Very little. And they are not much to write home about in general. And so the issue for us of making sure we have a streaming platform locally for music and put in all the catalogs from A to Z that we can find in Ghana on the platforms. That has been something that it has needed to be done for a long time. And so we've been working on this issue. Musica, Gamro, the music producers, and the private sector, the IT sector. We've been trying to, over the last couple of years, see about putting together a music streaming platform, digital platform for Ghanaian content developers in the creative arts, as I said, to facilitate the tracking, collection, and distribution of royalties in the first place, and also to enable creativeness and assess and manage revenue, and also to help maximize opportunities. So that is a very, very important part. I had a meeting today. As I said, one of the meetings I was to have today was to get an update, and we'll take some decisions on the streaming platform. On the streaming platform, I am very happy to let you know that the work has been completed. The work has been completed, and we have joint work between Musica, GAMRO, the music producers, and the private sector, and it has been completed. And we are going to support this and make sure that we take care of the development expenses related to this platform for the industry. So in all, I think today I was satisfied after the various presentations that were made to me that we are ready to outdoor this new local streaming platform for Ghanaian musicians and film producers.
That was Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia talking to the musicians and the stars, the creative arts people, about how he wants to help them make returns from streaming platforms. And so he's going to create a national streaming platform, because when you stream on Spotify, the deductions are many. Deduction to the government, where Spotify is taxpayers, deduction to Spotify is tax, deduction. But if you're streaming it locally, it might be better. It might work better, and you might make more money. That's what he's telling the musicians. That's what he's thought about their problem. He's been sitting down thinking about their problem, because they're an important stakeholder. They are an important part of the Ghanaian community, and they are an important part if we want to use them for a development agenda. Every country uses its creative arts for a development agenda. So you can't have India without Bollywood. You can't have America without Hollywood. And it is a very, very critical part of the development agenda, and something also to be able to export. So every politician, every leader must be able to think about creative arts. He must sit down and have days and hours thinking about what we do with creative arts, because we do have the talent. That's what some countries don't have. We have an amazing flow of talent in that area. So that's what Dr. Bawumia was doing. So when you have a leader without a message, and he's not also thinking about, what can I do for people who have water tanks? What can I do for people who sell blocks? What can I do for people who buy petrol every day in their trotro? What can I do for people who are buying kerosene? These are the things that when leaders do, it brings out the policy. They sit down and think about it. They are driving through town, they are walking through town, or they go to some village. They look at it and say, what can I do for these people? Look at how far they have to walk to fetch water. And what is he, when he says, what do I have to do for these people? What is he discussing? He's discussing, what do I do with the taxpayers' money that the people are going to give to me? Because they're going to give the taxpayers' money to him. It's a round circle like a pizza. And he has to shape it. Water here, free SH is gone, this one gone, that one gone, that one gone. If you're not careful, everything will be gone. Then you have to borrow. So as a leader, you are thinking about how to maximize this effort so that you can spend the money in a way that maximizes the strength and talent of your people. And out of that, you can maximize your tax returns. And out of that, you can maximize the GDP of the country. So if you have a leader who is not doing that, who comes to a campaign and is just talking about things that you can tell that he's not been thinking about the problems of the society, then we have an issue there. Let me go to the text messages, and then I'll take the first break. And when we come back, we'll be hitting on the highway. I believe I should start with Tara, should I? Antoinette first. Okay, Antoinette, what are people saying?
So much, Paul. Quite some people are having contrasting views from what we are seeing. Isaac True, for example, says Joy FM actually didn't need the clerk of parliament to determine the majority. The majority was actually very evident once the speaker declared certain seats vacant, he said. And Pino says, these are some important developments that you might have missed. He says, when Speaker walked in and saw the MP seated, he didn't tell them to change their positions. He recognized that Honorable Atuforsen was a leader of the NDC majority side in Parliament. Atuforsen remains the majority leader. Now, during the corrections of proceedings of the last sitting, Honorable Roxanne Eche drew the Speaker's attention to the misrepresentation of the Afenyo-Markins-led minority as majority when they walked out, and thus the record should show that they were the minority when they walked out. This too was accepted by the Speaker. So Afenyo-Markins, the minority leader, remains the minority leader, leading the NPP minority. Pino continues to say, it seems that the NPP have disappointed the Ashanti region because they have changed their mind in increasing the percentage by giving 35% for JM. Now, Alhaji Yusuf Hussein says, good evening, Paul. Election campaign has become free trade for all as the NDC concentrates on Ashanti region, the stronghold of the NPP. The NPP are also making serious strides in the Volta region, which is the strong electoral world bank of the NDC. The NDC is scared to the bone, seeing the numbers at their backyard so enthusiastic and welcoming towards their political opponent. It's more or less, do your own, let's do our own. Really interesting electoral results ahead. Now, Alhaji Bobsidi continues to say, Paul, I watched the campaign live. Bawumia was telling the chiefs and their people, and he quotes, you've done this and that for you, but the party you have been voting for has never done any of these for you. This is evidence-based campaigning and not insult and attacks, which the constituents are witnesses. Let everyone vote for number one and nobody else. Ata Eduse Enes says, the number of people who came out to hail Dr. Bawumia attests to the fact that the Volta region have changed their mind and it will be difficult for the NDC this time. Previously, it was difficult to wear the NPP t-shirt, but today's narrative has changed. And lastly, Augustine Masari Donko says, oh, Dr. Bawumia is actually 61 years and he cannot be referred to as a young man.
From Aaron Babako Korkomisa, good evening to you. The roadmap to solving unemployment in Ghana lies in the government's efforts to promote entrepreneurship, provide skills training, and encourage self-reliance among citizens. By implementing these strategies, Ghana can create a more prosperous and sustainable future for its people. Again from Aaron, to achieving a better Ghana tomorrow requires the collective effort and dedication of all citizens. Let us work together to address the challenges facing our country and build a brighter future for all. By taking action now, we can create a Ghana that is prosperous, inclusive, and sustainable for generations to come. From Anthony Yeboah, our dear youth, come online and listen to intellectual analysis. I just love this guy and his sense of journalism. From Raymond Enso Agyeman Akakeya, I'm just addicted to Good Evening Ghana because Paul is just super competent. He breaks down complex issues into smaller particles, making it easier for everyone to understand and appreciate the facts better. God bless you, Paul, watching you from New York. From Yusuf Muniru Abduzati, thank you, Paulus and the team, for your insightful and balanced coverage of current political events. The discussions are engaging and the analysis offers a fresh perspective that's both informative and thought-provoking. Keep up the good work. And from Justice Nana Udame, we'll be watching on Facebook Live. God bless you, Paul. Continue to do your great job from Mother Ghana. Thank you.
Are you done? All right. I saw this video. And I've been sending it around for people to check whether it's organic or whether it's orchestrated. You know, the political videos, when you see it, you have to check whether it's organic or whether they got their people to do it. A report came to me about people who live in the community, say they know this woman, and it is true that she's a member of the National Democratic Congress, at least in the area. Listen to her. Have a look at this video.
This coming be better than me to trap them truck a cannon. But just me trap was some years, 8 million, and fear me, and son. If it's another man can say, Juma. I was up at your control. I would change it. And this is a band in me, Benentin, trout. I'm on them, a vanity fear.
me bregu ya to subiam me baba mu asuko school tafo I do the same now so me kasha na nakufu ado anyam say me na wi school no free education na dey dey eti MPP aban MPP abanya what it say asoro poa wodo hoto no so awakoto kura nka soro saka me dey wo bon won ka papa anka me ba me no yes ni eti me ni an ma wo abo ma aso nyam kasanya ha de kama chira batan mo sesa NDC enya ba edi ahoto enso manu
You can judge it for yourself and tell me what you think. But after the break, we get straight onto the touch screen. So you know that we're writing a book. We're done now. So I'm going to show you a little bit about it as we wait for the date of the launch, which is coming up sometime in the second week in November or something like that. It's happening soon. Our producers and stakeholders are putting things together and will tell us the date. But tonight, I'll show you some of what is in the book, 19 minutes past 10 o'clock. After the break, we'll be right here. Then we go on to the American timetable and find out who is going to win the American election 2 weeks from now.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawumia, #1 on the ballot.
To all our believers,
to the Niger Gunners of Global Road,
all you Artetas of Africa, of Accra,
of Maputo,
of Oimbo,
the legends of legends down Lusaka way. We hear you.
Now hear us.
Obrigado.
Dalu.
Betway, the official global betting partner of Arsenal.
Who are you? Who are you? Charlie, I'll be you from the future. Who doesn't sleep on that slice of bread for mattress anymore? Don't some slippers then follow me. It is by the mattress we did it from there. Yeah? That be the mattress where the dead go. Wait, what are you doing? Wow! No damage at all. Not only durable, but also super comfortable. Come on, try it.
Nothing day like ash foam. Enjoy full body support and unparalleled comfort for a restful sleep.
Don't forget your keys.
Get the premium sleep experience with mattresses from Ash Foam. Visit any of our showrooms nationwide or at ashfoam.com.
One choice, multiple styles, all big, all unique.
Abraham Ojecheso, more from Tuna Mammy. Mammy from Lemmy, the Dupia, one of Mammy, I saw in the autumn. Papa sometimes miss the scampo so nibi. Macatama to me, so nibi. Teach them of Bobia Sana. If you grab pad and an eight pound per day in your beauty, more than 4. I'm a senior penny. Nti me wo je chesi na na me jure ready to me wia me ba kwese adwuma na ada me peyede nti ye wo fom tinu ma okada akufo adoti free SHS ba na me ready me da wase ti musumo tuma ide na ba SS na ma abotie mu school ti me ba na sometimes for services I dey be school boy you am dey me bo sometimes musida ma me ready ti afi su me be bo su me nya hwe me school ya just school fees simple My Gary sugar na mirror na the poor did even be at Alba school. Naka table to school for Saka. I'm the Biamakadako father one bar, the obey president and a dollar free success, not agility. None of me I could order no bad or both were hand. You can't cut to work, seeing my manager at up a penny. While my hair saw ye were papa crying, there will be a man you so. Yen your choir see school. Ya cash at the end day. Young good day, my sitter. Your bocodna, yes, see our woman.
Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawumia, #1 on the ballot.
Hey, what's up?
How far was your internship?
To be honest, I'm so nervous about starting this new role on Monday.
Oh, please. I know you'll be great at it. You should be worried about what benefits they have. Example, do they have health insurance?
I doubt they will have that for interns. But no shaking. I have NHIS already.
Actually, I'm on a line.
Ina, look at you. What are you going to do in the office when you can just download your app to register for an NHIS membership?
Yes, my people. You heard right. You can now download and register your membership on my NHIS app. No long queues or tedious paperwork. All you need is your Ghana card to register for yourself and for others. Once you register, you get a new digital NHIS card on your phone. My NHIS app gives you access to credentialed health facilities and services across the country. NHIS covers over 95% of disease conditions in Ghana. Access to healthcare just got easier.
Now let me sign up quickly. Please, Seth, I'm starting work next month.
The 8th edition of the prestigious Ghana Energy Awards is here. It is happening live on Friday, 25th October at the Labadi Beach Hotel in Accra. Time 6:30 p.m. prompt. Theme: the role of local content in building Ghana's energy sector. Special guest of honor: Osabiri Makwesi Atta II, the Oman Hene Ogwa traditional area. For tickets and sponsorship, call 030-3940-300. Industry partners: media partners, Metro TV, Graphic News Plus, validation by Forbes Mazars Ghana, Ghana Energy Awards, 8 years of redefining excellence.
Apomode wonsem yemfen diagro, enunti nese wonum edebapa nko. Exodus Moringa capsules, any Exodus Dandelion capsules, efi Exodus ebusuanum, na ebeboa wapomode. Emu bia wo benya no betimi aboa, nanso se woni to no a, wo betimi andom abo, na ebeboa papa. Se wonum Exodus Moringa capsules, ne Exodus Dandelion capsules. Ebwa mamoja di efusani yu. Na afei ebusi wo immune system no, na akwatia yarewa ahodo. Minim ye se, nipa dodo na nim dia Moringa etimi ye. Na Dandelion so ye nim. Enu nti, menkasa bedru. Enye mma apemfo. Ana abatan a oma enifo. Ana abofra onya emfidumi. Exodus, everyone dance it does.
In a fast-growing urban environment like Accra, safety is as important as the air that we breathe. Hear the real stories from those who now feel safe like never before with Response 1.
One night, I heard the glass shattering. Armed robbers had broken in. Before I could react, the alarm blared and the lights flashed, and Response 1 was already on their way. Within minutes, the security was at my door and the armed robbers had fled. I never want to be that scared again. And now I know with Response 1, I never will.
Don't wait for tragedy to strike. Protect your home with Response 1's monitored alarm system and our theft protection guarantee. Immediate response, real protection. Response 1, stay connected, stay protected.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawumia, #1 on the ballot.
Agoganaman, within some defrikua, a Jumakuan chain and mammo. Yet the qua mixture by Muji to Mukama, after the Fofraba, qua plus mixture and a qua empty mixture. Qua mixture, a bois, amonipiduena, Hodeno, na qua plus mixture, into a bow immune system for qua mixture and the qua plus mixture for bois pumude. After so, yet the malaria drop at a abbegaso, the day the qua empty mixture. Kwa mixture, kwa plus mixture, and kwa empty mixture, and ye ma pinfo, in ma muma colanofo, and in cola, umundi in fear duminu. She say, why a test? I chese o malaria more one be a wumujimu, and sana wafa kwa empty mixture, upedudu tour. Frekoa, yumekuno, a war, 0244 726611, and 059 165 5778. FDA, Aji, Ebidian Kratui at.
Gone were the days one had to use or his or her savings or break the bank to own a home in Ghana. Tezprom Estates Limited, a leading property development company, is turning people's dreams into reality. The company has introduced a pioneering concept, Build Now Pay Later, offering a unique payment plan that spans 15 years. This innovative approach has made it possible for many Ghanaians to own their dream homes without breaking the bank. At Tezprom Estates Limited, we are dedicated to delivering exceptional quality and customer satisfaction in all aspects of our business. Our commitment is reflected in how we build to suit your preference, which prioritize excellence, integrity, and customer centricity. Our pricing is cost-effective. You can visit our office at the Old Melcom, Achimota, Accra to register at a fee of 300 Ghana cedis or call us for more information. Contact us now.
Papa Sammy, I beg if you find something small, give us.
Bro Sammy, you see, no be say boys no one do nothing and just they rely on handouts. Just no deal.
I understand the hassle. Hope they come. John Mahama they come do the National Apprenticeship Program where he go sort you guys.
Brother Sammy, waiting with that.
John Mahama knows say no be everybody way won't work for office.
Like me.
That one day is true.
Under the National Apprenticeship Program, young men and women where they won't learn craft will be enrolled under the program and attached to a senior craftsman who will train them for free.
I beg you, mechanic day inside. Me like this, I don't want to learn mechanical, but the course no.
Mechanics day inside. Organizing, dressmaking, fabric making, catering, hairdressing, tiling, painting. What they even sweet about this whole thing is say when you plead, the NDC government go make sure say they go give you certificate where you go fit take go look for job anywhere.
That's free. Oh, that's be wonderful.
Another wonderful thing be say when you plead, the NDC government go set you up with startup capital and equipment to make sure you can start your own business.
Wow! I dey go shopping my town wait 7th December.
Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Okay, welcome back to the show, and we have a lot of a reason to be grateful to God. We have gratitude issues tonight to share with you. We are very grateful to God for the what looks like the completion of our book. We're going to share a few with you. But just after that, H.S. Sikanku is in the studio. He's going to take the rest of the 1 hour left, and he's going to walk us into the American election. Now, today, don't sleep. Once you can understand what we are doing here, everything about American election, you understand it. So the big problem about American election is, what is electoral votes? Later tonight, we'll be explaining to you. So you see, we have here Ashanti region. Ashanti region has 47 seats of parliament. So if we were in America, Ashanti region will have 47 electoral college votes, okay? Then we have Eastern region. Eastern region has 33 seats. So Eastern region will have 33. So if you're a presidential candidate and you win Eastern region, they write 33 by your name. What is the magic number? We are heading towards half of 275. The Ghana Parliament, all the seats in Parliament is 275. It will be 276 by the last election. So we are heading towards 275. And so 137 plus 1 is the winner. So if you are doing an American Electoral College, get me back the Ashanti region and those things. Get me back. So if we are doing that, we have Eastern region 33. If Akufo-Addo wins Eastern region, he has 33. If he wins Ashanti region, he has 47. 33 plus 47 is what? We are getting somewhere. That's how it is. And then there's Northern region. That has 9 seats. So that's how the American thing works. After our book presentation, Professor Sikanku is in the studio for that big one. Okay, so we have gratitude to God. Give me the cover page of the book. The cover page of the book. Let me start with the cover page of the book. Okay. So this is our final work. This is how it looks like. Do you want a copy? Do you want a copy, viewers? This is how it looks like. Okay, so this is it. So you see the book like that. Please put it on the screen for them to say, so that it's not too dark. So you see the book like that. You should get it because it is written by Good Evening Ghana. So, but they can't read it. Please let them be able to read it. Can you? I have made it like that. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. So now put it on the TV. Yes, excellent. Okay. So this is it. Africa's new constitutional leadership. 77 stories that defined Ghana's Fourth Republic. The stories are told by one Mr. Paul Adumochi, and he tells it in 100,000 words. So you can see 5 presidents, 6 vice presidents, 7 speakers, 8 parliaments, 31 years of the longest uninterrupted African democracy, and the heads of state are there from left to right. Flight Lieutenant Rawlings, John Ajekum Kufuor. In the center is Nana Akufo-Addo. He's the current president. And then next to him is John Dramani Mahama, who is also on the ballot for this election, and Professor J.E.A. Mills, the president that came after John Ajekum Kufuor. Okay, so yes, viewers, that's where we are. This is the front of the book. Where is there a back? Okay, so this is the back cover of the book. Again, yes, put it like this. Let's try and read it. 77 stories that define Ghana's Fourth Republic. So what do we say? The fact that Ghana is talking about the Fourth Republic brings up an obvious question. What is or what happened to the First Republic, the Second Republic, the Third Republic? And will there be a Fifth or Sixth Republic? The legitimacy of this question and its potential answer is the reason for this book. So that's how we put it. That's how we put it. So the Africa's new constitutional leadership, 77 stories of Ghana's Fourth Republic. Why are we talking Fourth Republic? Because why are we not saying first? Why are we not saying second? People ask that question. Why are we in the fourth? How do we get to fourth? Are we going to have a fifth? That's the reason for the book. If you read the book, you can answer all the questions. Okay. So just to tease viewers, between now and the launch of the book, every now and then I'll show you some of the stories in the book, because you are, viewers, you are the producers of this book, you are the editors. So let's see one story. Pick any story. Let's look at it. Okay, so this is together I have the. Okay, so what story is this? The struggle for Ghanaian rights to protest. This must be story 8, I think, Mikhail, is that correct? Story 8. NPP versus IGP. Peter Ajete and Akufo-Addo go to court to insist that demonstrations are allowed under the 1992 Constitution. So this is one of the stories we put there. It says, the name of the Finance Secretary, Kwesi Botwe, was very prominent during the PNDC days. This was because Finance Secretary Kwesi Botwe had always been the one to read the annual budget. Okay. A state broadcaster was the only television station licensed at the time, etc. Okay, let me go on. I'm jumping a little bit. So again, in those years, the budget was always read by Kwesi Botwe, who was PNDC Secretary. Upon introduction of the 1992 Constitution on 3rd January 1993, now with Parliament in place, the President's budget had to be presented to the Legislative Assembly. Now, viewers, this is a story that is about Kwesi Botwe came to read the budget, and there was a television program. This particular budget was significant because it increased petroleum prices by 60%. So there was a television program on Ghana television, Talking Points, where the budget was going to be discussed. Let's see the story of what happened in the television program. I'll come to that. Okay, so it's here. Finance Minister Kwesi Botwe led the charge. He personally met with traders and market women to explain the basis of such a sharp increase in petroleum prices. His engagement with the traders and stakeholders was rebroadcast on national television. Then came one fateful Sunday when it had been announced that the state broadcaster, announced by the state broadcaster, that its famous current affairs program, Talking Point, which aired on Sunday evening, was going to host Victor Lawrence Salome, Deputy Finance Minister, and Andrews Kwame Pianim, a renowned economist. Everyone expected a really hard-hitting debate. The program, which already had been recorded on Thursday before the appointed Sunday, aired soon after the news broadcast on Sunday evening. Sometime during the program, while PNM was speaking, the transmission was truncated and the channel continued with non-regular program content showing patriotic songs. Civil society became alarmed by the development, and the word had it that Minister for Information Kofi Totobi Kwache had ordered the termination of the transmission at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation upon the instructions of the President, J.J. Rawlings. It was widely suspected that Kwame PNM's submissions were particularly critical of the government policy, and it was feared that his narrative will sway people towards the opposition's opinion. The programming never resumed, and on Monday, most opposition newspapers led with the story on how government had truncated Ghana Broadcasting Corporation's talking points simply because Kwame PNM had been speaking. The opposition held several meetings on how to address the matter. In the end, a decision was taken to organize a demonstration against the government's budget. This demonstration would have a starting point of Takoradi in the Western region. It ultimately did not materialize, as the demonstrators were reportedly arrested and arraigned before court on charges of demonstrating without a permit and failing to disperse contrary to Section 8 blah 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 of the law. Just about the same time, another group had reportedly sought to organize a rally in remembrance of the incarceration and unfortunate death of Dr. J.B. Dankwa on Thursday, 4th February, blah blah blah. There apparently had been concern among the police over the real motives of this event, especially factoring in the disrupted Takoradi protest earlier planned. Okay, so viewers, what's this story about? This story is about how we got to have the law that we only need to inform the police before we demonstrate. So on this occasion, people tried to demonstrate and they were arrested, and then the court case was called. It was entitled the MPP versus the IGP, and it was argued by Nana Akufo-Addo and Peter Alajete. It's in the book. You can find out the story about the book. Let's see whether there's another story we can look at. Let's jump on to another one very quickly now. So this is the story about how we got to find demonstrations in Ghana today. How we write to the police and say we want to demonstrate today. What happened? It was Akufo-Addo and Peter Alajete who brought it to us. What story? Story 31. Yendi, March 25, 26, 2002. The assassination of Yana Yakubu Andani. Okay. Even though the Dagbon tradition and kingdom have been established in Ghana long before European contacts with the earlier Gold Coast or even colonization, like most Ghanaians today, the people of the Gomba are not originally from Ghana, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, there's a bit of background history. Okay, let's move on. The current Dagomba kingdom presides over significant arable land, some of it thought to be the best in the world to grow certain species of yam, certain species of the yam family, the latter of which is heavily used by fast food operators around the world. The area has since the last 20 years been talked about for holding significant deposits of precious minerals as well. The overlord of Dagbon people is known as the Yana. The title of the Yana is translated in English to mean king of strength or king of power. It is reported that the title was taken on by Na King Shitobu and subsequently became the customary title of the Dagomba overlord. Succession to the throne, the Nam of Yendi, is by rotation between the Andani and the Abdullahi sections of the royal family. Whenever there is a Yana, there are also sub-chiefs who occupy the skins of the gates of Mion, Savlugu, and Karaga. The succession of the Yana is ordinarily chosen from among occupants of these skin gates. And then in the book, we give you some tables and some details and all of these about the Yana story. And then we come closely to determine the Yana story of what happened with the event. The Dagbon gets it. So 2019, Dagbon gets a new chief. Okay, so we give you a timeline. In 2000, the third election of Ghana's Fourth Republic signifies the end of the Rawlings era and brings in the MPP, the party of the UP tradition, the party of Buzia, and now led by President Kufuor, who was a deputy foreign affairs. Kufuor wins a convincing majority. March 2002, March 25, Yana Yakubu Andani's palace is attacked. The Yana is beheaded, as well as 30 of his elders. 2004, an elaborate criminal investigations department of CID, a docket was developed and sent to the Attorney General's office. So we give you a timeline of everything happened. 1987, PNDC constitutes a reconciliatory committee with Emmanuel Jechetano as chairperson. It seeks to ameliorate the relationship between the Andanis and the Abudus. The two clans reached peaceful settlement, and through the leadership of Yana Yakubu Andani, they signed a memorandum of understanding which stipulates that all aspects of the judgment as declared by the Supreme Court ought to be adhered to. That was 1987. 88, Yana Muhammadu Abdullahi, the disskinned Yana, passes on in October 16th. Yana Yakubu Andani II does not honor the component of the 1987 MOU, which mandates the burial of Muhammadu Abdullahi as that of the deceased Yana. The PNDC, using the armed forces and the police, forcefully occasioned the burial of Muhammadu Abdullahi, a full daytime, blah, 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 blah. All that is in the story. Let's do the last one. What other story do you have? Then we can go on and get your own copy of the book. It will be out very soon. Kufuor's final term. Akufo-Addo laces boots to become the party leader. As early as 2005, Nana Akufo-Addo, then foreign minister, made clear his intention to contest the party's flag bearer in 2007, one clear year ahead of 2008 general elections. He made this point when I interviewed him during the inauguration process of Kufuor's second term. It was obvious that Nana-Addo, as he was affectionately called, was widely expected to become the next leader of the MPP. Okay, the story goes on. Okay, so in 2006, an open letter to Akufo-Addo written by one of his closest allies, Victor Osekweku Newman, and published in The Statesman, Akufo-Addo's own newspaper, contained very strong words and poured out frustration over the fact that Akufo-Addo was busy conducting his affairs as a foreign minister while others were other potential competitors were campaigning. Newman's very harsh suggestion was that Akufo-Addo may have to consider stepping down as minister to pursue his campaign for the party's leadership and eventually the election 2008. All right, all of this is in the book. A lot of that one. I'm trying to get a nice conversation I had with Kufuor for you to see. After Akufo-Addo's letter, Newman still felt that some platform or organization must at least be created to begin the campaign. Thus, he supervised the formation of a group of young men and women and called them Friends of Nana Akufo-Addo. This group was formed in every region and almost every constituency, with branches abroad in the UK and the USA. I was a member of the UK group, which was made up of Ghanaians residents in the UK at the time who were pursuing both undergraduate and postgraduate programs. The UK group also included Anthony Abeifa Kabo, later to become Deputy Minister of Roads in 2017 under Akufo-Addo, Carlos Von Brazi, who later became Senior Research Officer under the National Security Apparatus, but now Deputy Chief of Staff under Akufo-Addo, Idrisu Musa Superior, who became the Mayor of Tamale under Akufo-Addo, but now Deputy Chief Executive of the Forestry Commission, Nanaya Sapon, a London-based MPP stalwart, Marlon Anipa of blessed memory, who later became a District Chief Executive under Akufo-Addo. So quite a lot in there. The London group met regularly on Sunday evenings and was occasionally visited by Gabi Ochre-Dakun, and on one occasion by Victor Newman himself. For now, meetings in the UK were exciting because the discussion centered on developing intellectual themes and theories to back Akufo-Addo's candidature and to position him as a great thinker who could move Ghana even further beyond the levels that Kufuor had taken the country. Victor Newman was a trained and qualified agricultural economist who had consulted for the United Nations and other international organizations for the most part of his working life. He had been a principal member of the leadership of the Alliance for Change that conducted the Kumipreko marches, the historic 1995 demonstration that I discussed in Story 10. Newman had been appointed as Akufo-Addo's Director of Research at the Office of the President in 2017. He unfortunately passed sometime in 2021 after a short illness. He is fondly remembered for being a great stalwart of the MPP and a massive mobilizer of the youth. His daughter, Honorable Dakwa Newman, became Member of Parliament for Kankwe South and was subsequently appointed Minister for Gender Relations by the Akufo-Addo government. So in 2007, the government of President Kufuor announced through the Office of the Chief of Staff that all persons who were members of Kufuor's executive government who had harbored presidential ambition to contest the party's flag-bearer race in 2007 should resign from the government to allow for a new group of people to move the government. Upon this announcement, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we go through the list of people who are contesting the elections. Okay, I'm looking for. Okay, I'll show you. Don't worry, I'll show you the next time. Okay, let's get to HSC Kanku, and so that's it. From now, every program will show you a bit of the book, a bit, as we get to launch. The launch dates will be out. I'm sure by next week I can tell you. And those of you who want to be there at the launch, I'll share with you. But it will be live on Good Evening Ghana, so don't worry about it. You can see it. And you want a copy of the book? Oh yes, a copy. Plenty copies are going to be ready for the youth as it's come. Give me the book title at the back again. Okay, they can see it. It's already here. You can see it here. It's here. Africa's new constitutional leadership, the 77 stories that define Ghana's Fourth Republic. So we are almost there. We're ready to go. All right. Prof is going to join us now on the touch screen. Has he been mic'd? Okay. And then, so let's get to the American story, isn't it? But do you have some messages on the book? Yes. Okay, Antoinette. Aha.
Thank you very much, Paul. So on the book, a few people would want to know where they can get the book. Oman Payne says, congratulations, Paul. Where do we get the book to buy? G-Con says, Paul, again, he's asking where they can get the book to buy in the UK. Ibwe Ahmed wants to give us a correction. He says the kingdom is not the Dagomba kingdom, but Dagwan kingdom. So we should kindly check that. I think we will do that. And Master Planner says, Mr. Paul and the team, you guys are doing a marvelous work. It's always a pleasure listening to you. Where can we get the book to buy? I think after the launch, the information will be out. And lastly, Enoch Asante is asking, will this be available online for us to purchase? I'm sure we'll give information on that as well. That's all for me. Back to you, Paul.
I have these tools. Yeah, now, viewers, so please pay attention. Sorry, we'll finish this quickly so you can go to bed. But if you don't, pay attention to this. We're going to show you how the Americans calculate their election. The big conversation that we all don't understand. We're going to understand it now. Okay, so this is first the American map. Let's start with the American map. Prof, good evening.
Good evening, Paul.
All right, so this is the American electoral map.
Yes.
Okay, so the lines show the states.
Exactly.
So it will be like regions of Ghana, Ashanti region, Greater Accra region, Central region, Eastern region, Brown Africa, that kind of thing.
Correct.
But they have 50 odd states.
Exactly.
When we have 16.
Exactly.
All right. So the numbers that we've written here, so this is TX. What state is that?
That's Texas.
And they have 40.
Exactly.
So that means 40 electoral votes.
40 electoral votes.
So they count the ballot in Texas.
Yes.
When the one who has won will be given 40 electoral votes.
Perfect.
On another table.
Perfect.
And we are looking for the candidates who gets how many?
To 270.
The total number is what?
538.
Okay, 538.
Yes.
So half plus 1.
Yes.
Is 270.
Yes.
So if you get to 270, whoever gets to 270 first has won the election.
Exactly.
Okay. Yes. So we just add.
Right.
So that is why, assuming that a candidate wins Texas by 10 votes.
Yeah, no matter how many votes.
He's won by 4. He's taking 40 electoral.
You'll get all of it.
The other candidate loses here. So the one who won this won by 10 votes. The same person wins here by 5 votes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
He's leading by 15 popular votes.
Yes.
But he has 70 electoral votes.
Perfect.
That's a big difference.
Yes.
Okay, so if the candidate who lost these 2 places wins, CEO is what?
Colorado.
Colorado 10, Minnesota 10.
Yeah.
Wisconsin 10, that's 30.
Right.
I'm looking for 70. NY 28.
Yes.
So we get 52, isn't it?
Right.
50 something. So 30 plus 28. So 58.
58.
Okay. 58. I'm looking for a 10. Okay, 19 Pennsylvania.
Right.
That takes me to 58 plus 19 is what? 77.
Okay.
77. Yeah. Okay, good. So with this, I now have 77. This candidate has 77 over this one.
Right.
So whereas between the two, he won with the 15.
Right.
If he has won here, all the things I've mentioned, with a difference of 1 million, it will still not matter that you have 1 million over 15 popular votes. I still have 70 and you have 77.
Yep, it doesn't matter because
that's the difference.
That's the difference, and that's
so that's why they say Hillary Clinton won the popular votes by 2 million.
Yeah, by 2 million.
That gap between Hillary Clinton and Trump was 2 million.
Right.
But Trump got elected.
But Trump still got
because
elected.
of this electoral votes thing.
Perfect.
Is it unfair?
Well, a lot of people, there's been a lot of debate about it. Every year there are articles that are written about whether it's fair or unfair. Some people say they should abolish it. I mean, it's like a never.
Where did they get these numbers from? This 40,
it's worked for them.
5, this. Yes. Where did they get it from?
So they get it based on the what's it called? The population.
Population size.
Yes.
Oh, so the bigger your population, the more electoral votes you get. Oh, then it's not unfair.
Exactly.
It's reflecting.
Yes.
So can they change?
Yes. So there are times when they do the population census, and if it's, significantly, the size significantly changes, they will recalibrate it. But it's held steady for a long time.
So you can lose if it's changing.
If it's changing,
you can lose.
You can lose, and they use that to demarcate the congressional houses.
Okay.
But the 538 has held always for a long time, and so that's why they say you always need a 270. Sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah, you need 270 to win.
I didn't mean to make it.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But basically, yes.
So now we know that it's the population size that determines these things.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now let's put the Ghana map on. The Ghana map. Let's put the Ghana map on with the regional. Yes, great. Okay. So that is very similar. So this is Savannah region, the new region.
Right.
It will have a less population than some of the bigger old regions. It has 7 seats of parliament, divided up by the population size.
Okay.
So the census people and the electoral commission, district assembly, they go in and divide it, and they decide that Savannah should have 7 seats.
Okay.
So it's very similar.
Yeah. So then that's
so this is if this was an American election, you win in Savannah region, you get 7 seats allocated to you, and we have a 275. So our magic number is 138.
138, right?
Yeah, you get to 138, you won it. Okay. So we look at another one. This is Northern Region. You see, it has more, 18. So you're winning Northern Region. You're winning 18 seats.
Right.
It doesn't matter by what margin. You win by 1, you get 18.
Okay.
Then this is Bono Region. They have 12 less. So if we're doing swing states,
this I
have for 6.
Okay.
They were separated from Bono, so you can understand.
So it means it's smaller.
It's smaller. Bono East is also separated from Bono. They have 11.
Okay.
So then you have Oti Region. So that's 8.
Is that the smallest?
I don't know. Maybe. Let's move on. Yeah. 9. Western North. That's also one of the new ones. Ashanti 47. So MPP. So we're going to call Ashanti a blue state if you're in America. A blue state in America. MPP always wins it. So MPP will pick up.
Okay. In Ghana, blue is MPP.
Yes.
Right.
MPP will pick up the 47 seats.
Yes.
And that is they are racing towards 138.
Right.
But once they win this one, the issue there was that it will demotivate NDC from trying in Ashanti. And I can understand that. That's why the American election is left to the battleground states.
Yes.
Because you are demotivated from trying to go to Ashanti to get anything. But because ours is popular votes, you can still get something from Ashanti to add up to something from somewhere and you are getting somewhere. Or you preclude them from getting high numbers in Ashanti so that you are managing their success.
Yes.
But here, if you go and do managing success in electoral college, it's useless. So I understand it. So the American election will be about battleground states for a long time to come.
Yes.
Because nobody is willing to go and fight in a state where you know that you can't win.
Exactly.
So you have yours, I have mine. We do the battleground.
Right.
Oh, I get it. So you have Ashanti is 47.
Right.
You have Eastern 33.
Okay.
So if a party is winning Ashanti and Eastern, you don't need to go and campaign there. You don't need to.
Exactly.
Because you have to overtake them to get this 33.
Yes.
If you see that as an impossibility, then don't bother.
Yeah, because no matter what,
they
won't give you anything if you don't win anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even if you do so well, but you really don't win, then you don't get it. So Volta region 18.
Okay.
It's decent.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's quite decent. And then you have Western region 17.
Okay.
That's also decent. So Central region 17. Then we're going. Then you have Greater Accra region 34.
The greatest battleground.
Yes, that's
and Central too.
Central too. So this is a battleground state as much as 34. So it's significant.
Yeah,
so if we were doing American elections in Ghana, it's going to be crazy in Greater Accra region. Already it is crazy because it's a battleground state for the seats. But if it was the way American is, you win, you grab all the 334 seats, and
Right.
that's a big deal.
Right.
Okay, so
and I think
that's
if
how
you
the
are right,
American thing
those who
works.
win Greater Accra mostly in Ghana also end up winning.
Usually win, except in 2020,
Okay.
where Akufo-Addo made it. He lost Greater Accra and
But
still
still
won.
won. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's there.
Okay.
Okay, so I think viewers are following it. I think it's making sense now. So now let's get back to the American map, and then we're going to sit down and talk about the battleground states, and Prof will explain to us where we are on the battleground states. Okay.
Right.
Yes. So now, what do the Republicans have, and what do the Democrats have, and where are the battleground states?
Great, thank you very much. So for now, and this actually is a bit representative of what's happening, although it's not the reality. But so if you look at it, these red ones are where the Republicans almost always have. So like the example you give, Ashanti, Volta, Eastern. So these ones will almost always go to the Republicans. The blue ones will almost always go to the Democrats. Nobody cares about them. Right, so now these gray ones become the battleground because mostly they determine who wins the elections. So we have Arizona, we have Nevada, we have Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. So if you notice...
What's this?
Sorry, and North Carolina. Thank you very much. And North Carolina. So if you notice, these ones are lighter because they are leaning Republican, but they are likely to go to them. So Texas almost always goes Republican.
Okay.
Iowa sometimes changes. So it's like, but it's leaning Republican. Florida, which used to be a battleground state, has now shifted Republican.
Yeah.
So it's lighter, and then Ohio now Republican. So the lighter blue to lean Democrat. That's New Mexico, Virginia, and then I think that should be
Minnesota. Where?
Minnesota. Yeah. So really, nobody campaigns in any of these now. So it's now everybody
in the gray areas.
In the gray areas, and in the gray areas, these are the dynamics. Nevada is a state that has 6 electoral votes, but they have a lot of a big Latino population over there. They have, it's the only state that legalizes prostitution as well. They have also the, the casinos over there. So it's kind of cosmopolitan.
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, yes. And they have a lot of union workers there. So they tend to tilt Democrat. But there are years when the economy is not good and all of that, they could go Republican. Arizona used to be, in fact, Republican until you see where it is, just here, it's a border state. So they get a lot of Latinos coming in. And so because of that, it has changed the pure red dynamic over there.
To gray.
To gray. Now, this is one of the swingers of the swingers, Wisconsin. This is what they normally call the blue wall. Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota. In fact, this is where all the action is. Because this is where a lot of the industrial, working class, middle class, everyday Americans are. Now, Wisconsin almost always votes for the winning president. And that's why in 2016, when Hillary lost in Wisconsin, but the Democrats almost always won there. Michigan, yes, Michigan, Hillary lost here too. Trump won this, but Obama won these two.
Okay.
Yes, and Hillary lost these two. Pennsylvania,
Michigan, and Wisconsin.
This
is Minnesota.
So Minnesota is mostly blue. And that's why it didn't make sense to a lot of people when Kamala Harris chose the running mate from Minnesota, because you don't get any advantage there.
Oh, because that's blue anyway.
It's blue anyway, right? Now, these states, so the question is, what kind of people live in these states? Michigan is also the auto industry, the industrial region, the car industry is also there. So a lot of everyday working class Americans there. Pennsylvania also is the Rust Belt, has a lot of industrial working factories, people who work there and all of that. And then North Carolina. So North Carolina shouldn't have been a swing state, but they've got a lot of people coming in because it's pretty white, So
it should be Republican.
Yeah, it should be Republican, but they have a lot of people moving in from, of course, Mexico and other areas, and those people tend to vote Democrat. And then North Carolina also has 3 major universities, UNC, University of North Carolina, and some other big universities there. And so the college population has changed the dynamics there.
Okay.
And then Georgia. Georgia used to be red, but for some reason, I think for the first time, Biden won Georgia.
In 2020?
Yes, in 2020.
But Trump thinks Georgia is in the bag.
Oh yeah, because they've actually voted Republican a lot of times, except I think just once or twice. Jimmy Carter and one person won it, I think Bill Clinton. But apart from that, Georgia has mostly been red until Biden changed it to blue. So now it's become kind of a swing state. So now Kamala Harris is trying to get, or Donald Trump, they are both trying to win in these states. So I don't know if they have the other ones.
Let me interrupt you. Let's get back onto the seat.
Okay.
And do you have messages on the American map? Just get one or two up for us, and then let's sit down and then do that so that the diary lady can have a story together. Okay, are you ready? Okay, Antoinette, what are people saying?
So, on the American story, Shadrach in Bellam actually says, it seems America's politics is very bad. If you win by one vote, does that mean you will take over the whole state? This is very bad. Now, Kwekudamit says, I'm always elated to see Dr. Echesika Anko on my screens. He was my lecturer and he's very amazing. He's a great man and I never stop learning from him. He knows his stuff and I'm glad I met him at GIG. And people are still asking where they will get the books to buy. Kwabena Sichiosu says, at long last, it seems Paul has been able to put all his brilliant ideas into writing. Thank you very much, Paul. Mahami Adam says, good evening to my man, Professor Eche Ikanku. I really admire him so much. George Volta Ajipon says, congratulations, Paul, for the book. Looking forward to reading it. And people are still asking if the book will be available online. Mark Otre is asking if he can link up privately to get the book to the UK. Now back to you, Paul.
All right, thank you very much, Prof. So let's continue.
Yes.
So we now understand the map and how somebody wins.
Right.
Now let's come to this election.
Right.
How is it shaping up? I was watching Kamala Harris last night.
Yeah.
Even by CNN standards, it wasn't that good. I guess because Trump was not there, she was not sufficiently animated. But I noticed that she doesn't answer the question that is asked. Even when it's not complicated to answer, I'm not.
Yeah, so that's the conversation. You know, she had a bump when Biden dropped out. She came in, there was a lot of excitement about her. They had a convention, were there, people were happy. There was so that kind of bounce happened. But right after that, then we had the debate. And then came October. So it looks like she has hit a crescendo. You know, the excitement has now died down, the campaign has leveled up, and people are now beginning to say, okay, show us your policies, show us what you got. Let us get the details now, because the flower and the excitement and all the optics have come. Now tell us your policy. We really want to know what you have. And the conversation has been that she has not really gotten into detail, telling Americans really what she wants to do. Some people still feel like they really have to get to know her. They feel they don't know her like that. So I think she's now gotten to that mark, and it looks like Donald, because of that, she's stuck over there, and Donald Trump has managed to find a way to prevent her from closing the deal. So the question is, why is Kamala Harris not closing the deal after all the big excitement, the big mojo? Why is she not closing the deal? It means there is a question mark there, and that is where Trump has the opening.
But why is he not closing the deal? Is Trump closing any deal anyway? Well, and yesterday on CNN, there was a conversation among Democrats, pundits, and with one Republican there anyway.
Right.
And the Abby Phillips,
yes,
who is one of their new moderators, quite admirable,
yes,
was saying that the topic we were discussing was, why does the media have a different standard for Kamala Harris and another standard for Trump? That they expect too much of Harris, they're asking her to do too much. And this is friendly media to Harris.
Okay.
And this is CNN who hosted the town hall. Anderson Cooper, one of their colleagues, had hosted it, and they were just talking after that. So they said, well, the media is holding different standards to that. Abby Phillips said that, well, it may be because the American people think they know Trump.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to say anything else.
Right.
And everything he says about his government, they don't need to check it. It's there, they can see. If he says my government did this, it's not a promise. So just by Trump is a known quantity. So they are looking for the contrast. And they don't think that they're able to zero in on, I know and I trust Kamala Harris enough
to
be president.
Right.
So what is she not saying
Yeah, so I mean, you are right on that. And there is that little percentage of people, I believe when we do the analysis, they said about maybe 2%, 3, 4% of people who still could be swayed. But to your point, what the analyst will say is that those who are going to be persuaded are likely to be persuaded towards Kamala. Because for Donald Trump, he's a known quantity. He's been there.
He's not going to add any more votes.
No, people know who he is. So this is her chance to get ahead.
Yeah.
And so the question is, as an analyst, one of the things that you see is that she talks a lot about Donald Trump, why he's an existential threat, why he's a threat to democracy. When they asked about the border, she talked about Donald Trump not building the wall instead of talking about what she's going to do. And elections are about the future. This is shaping up to look like the 2016 election, believe it or not. Because in this particular election, Hillary Clinton predicated the entire framework of her campaign on how, nasty Trump was, how unhinged he was, how much of a demagogue he was, how much of a threat he was, and how much he represented something so untoward about politics in America that she forgot to talk about her own policies and made it about Trump. Well, guess what? In politics, you know what they say, all press is good press. And so Donald Trump built on that. So the fact of the matter is that for the people who support Trump, for the people who listen to him, you are not going to change their mind about who he is because they like him for how unhinged he is. They like him for how bombastic he is. They like him for how unusual he is. Any nasty word he says, they cheer on. They say, that's my man. Because he's saying the truth. He's saying it as it is. He's not saying using politically correct language. And so for Kamala Harris, the idea...
Metro TV. Insightful and inspiring moments.
Has Christianity always been one of the religions in the world to you?
Oh, hallelujah. Praise God. Christianity is not a religion, neither is it a joining of a church and doing the Christian things like praying and giving and so on. Hallelujah. Christianity is the outworking of God's own kind of life received into the spirit of a man. Whoa! This divine life in the heart of a man makes him righteous. It keeps him healthy, divinely guided in life, prosperous and victorious. It gives you the ability to enjoy intimate fellowship with the Father and have dominion on this earth. Hallelujah.
Yes, in every generation on the earth, God sends special messengers with unique messages to fulfill His word in their dispensation. Whether through the Emancipator, church services, special conferences like the New Christian Conference, or the Good Life Devotion, carefully listen, watch and read the message of life and of the divinity of the church ministered by Dr. David Bindan, as ordained by God in the scriptures to mature the body of Christ into the full measure of the stature of Christ. Dr. David Bindan, taking us on our journey in Christ into sinlessness, sicklessness, deathlessness, lacklessness, and leaving us manifested sons of God to the glory of our Father. Hallelujah.
Join Dr. David Bindan on the Good Life Devotion every Monday to Friday on this channel and receive truth that will usher you into the divine life experience of sinless holiness, incorruptible health, deathlessness, and reigning in life as a son of God in the full measure of the stature of Christ.
Kindly note that you can enjoy the Good Life Devotion on these other platforms at their stated times. Do choose the most convenient one for you or switch to another in case of a broadcast challenge with your usual platform. By all means, don't miss the Good Life Devotion any day. Now, welcome to today's episode with Dr. David Bindan.
Wow, praise the Lord, hallelujah. Such a joy once again to welcome you to today's special episode of our favorite Good Life Devotion. and especially onto today's special session of the NCC Hub discussions. Things are becoming more interesting as the year draws to a close. That's number one. And also as the days get numbered towards the all-expected New Creation Conference 2024. We all know that on the Thursday the 14th and the Friday the 15th of November, all roads are going to lead to the Accra International Conference Center, 5:30 p.m. each evening. You just can't miss it. And on the Friday, the 15th of November, 8:30 a.m., we're going to be having the special ministers session. And if you're a minister of God in Accra and outside or wherever you're watching, it's a place to make sure that you are there, because definitely your life and ministry will never be the same again. Well, this is interesting. And as I've seen the promos and all that, you know that this year we are going into something deeper and something prophetic. And so we are very glad to have very seasoned ministers of God. We have already feasted so much on the few that we have watched so far for the week. And we are excited to have another one today. And when I say seasoned, as I mentioned the last time, you don't know somebody by the flesh. Jesus asked, who am I? People try to define him by the natural CV. They missed it. It was only when the Father revealed to Peter that they got who Jesus was. So as you listen and see the discharge of life and spirit, you know for yourself who this minister of God is, and allow yourself to be blessed by what he's sharing with you to prepare you for the upcoming New Creation Conference. So just before we zoom in, we want to share in a word of prayer. Father, we thank you for this time of fellowship. I give you praise for the opportunity to bring forth your life and your spirit into the hearts of all our viewers, readers, and listeners, depending on the platform they're using. For our lives will never be the same. In Jesus' name, amen. Wow. Wow, Reverend Doctor, such a joy to have you today, and we are excited to have you. So just before we zoom in on the discussion, can you kindly introduce yourself to us?
Thank you. But before I do that, I want to use this opportunity to specially thank you for this great honor and opportunity to be on set with you today. Wow. I'm eternally grateful.
It's a great pleasure to have you, sir.
I love you so much.
I love you, Reverend.
My name is Reverend Dr. Bright Eno Bright. I'm the president of Christ Representatives, and we are located at East Legon.
Wow.
Thank you.
Good. So as I told you last year, if you are in East Legon or its environs and you're looking for a place where you know that this place it is Jesus Christ and is the Holy Spirit, make your way to Christ Representatives, East Legon. His number is displayed on the screen. And you're going to meet esteemed Reverend Dr. Bright Eno Bright and his brethren and have a fellowship with them. So keep those details and do pass by to share fellowship with them. Well, Reverend Bright, it is just a few days to the New Creation Conference 2024. And we feel blessed to be part of making this epoch meeting a divine reality. You have been with us since the beginning of New Creation Conference 8 years ago. So this is our 8th edition.
Wow.
See how time flies.
Wow.
So, I mean, of course, we know you. We just want to know how NCC has been a blessing personality to you and your ministry. And yes, bless us along those lines.
Wow. Thank you so much. You know, the Bible says, as cold water is to a thirsty soul, so is a good news from a far country. You know, every time I come to these meetings, I come as a thirsty soul. And the good news you bring from heaven, personally, is a refreshing moment for me. It's an exciting moment. It's an enlightening moment. It's a divine destiny at work moment. It's also a divine grace distribution moment. And it's an action moment because there is so much I receive. There is so much grace I collect in these meetings. And that is the same grace I take to my ministry to strengthen my brethren. Because this is a God thing. This is Holy Ghost thing. This is not one church doing something for themselves. No, that's not the way I look at things. This is God at work. And what God is doing is not for only one church. It's for the body of Christ. So I come open to the Spirit, you know, and every aspect of the meetings ministers had grace into my life. And another thing I want to touch on is about the fact that, you know, you've been a great brother and a great friend.
win. Yes, she has to get 5. If she gets 5-4.
Party mandates.
Lichman is predicting.
Incumbent party mandates. It considers whether the incumbent party holds the most seats. False. Party battle key. Whether there's no serious contest for the incumbent party nomination.
Right.
They put that as true.
True, okay.
But is that true that there was no serious contest?
I would say so, because it wasn't a regular traditional primary.
Yeah, but at the time they selected it, it was not allowed for there to be a contest.
Yes, so it's nobody's fault. You get it.
But when you put that as false or true, you mean there's popular support, it's full of party support that the candidate has.
No. It's
But
just
to say,
so it's not
if nobody contested against you, it means you have a lot of party support.
Yeah, so you are looking at the deeper meaning of it.
Yes,
the latest content.
That's what helps the keys to work. Because this is measuring the support the person has within his religious.
You don't agree with that?
I'm
Okay,
not sure
so
whether you can say, because if some individuals, 2 or 3 people using their party machinery to turn the thing around a certain way, force Joe Biden out, which they did because Joe said, I'm not stepping out.
Right.
And then one day he said, I'm stepping out.
Right.
So if they did that, then you can't say this is true.
There was no contest. So
You can't say
you
there was
would
no
see that
contest.
as a contest. I mean, we can put that as false on
Yes.
your
If you
lead.
put that as false, it comes to 6 on his.
Then Kamala loses.
Then that changes.
Yeah,
So
then that changes.
I'm guessing that whatever outcome it is, it will determine how he evaluated the situation.
Yes. Depend. And so that's why.
Because this also was novel.
Yes.
So
Yes.
his keys have never looked at a situation like this before.
That's true.
And so while it's a situation that is novel,
I
you're
get
going to have a
what you
problem.
mean by that. Yeah.
Incumbency key says the incumbent candidate is the sitting president. Then he says false.
He says false. The incumbent, it means, oh yeah, it's false because the incumbent candidate is not a sitting president.
Yes, but these 2 keys, whether the incumbent candidate is challenged and the incumbent is the sitting president, the sitting president, yes, it is him.
Yeah.
So you get through on both.
Both, yeah.
Yeah,
they automatically are really related.
They're always related.
Yeah, I get
If it's not the incumbent president, then you always have a contest.
Yes.
And somebody won it.
Right.
So if it's the incumbent president, there's no contest. If there's no, it's gone almost every time. Even Al Gore, I don't remember whether Al Gore had a contest, but.
So they gave true to that?
So they gave incumbent president is false.
Okay, it's false.
And no third party is true. I think that's true.
Right.
But why does a third party affect the ruling party?
Theory is predicated on the party and government, because it is assumed that, I mean, you have access to the media, you have, they say incumbency.
Yes, but
advantage.
so if there's a third party, then it's affecting you, the incumbency?
Yeah, so then it means that they are chipping away the more, because they'll be,
okay.
do you get what I mean?
The next one he has here is short-term economic key. He says it's true. The economy is not in recession during the campaign.
Right.
And again,
you think it's in recession?
It's not in recession in terms of economic explanation of recession.
Okay.
But these explanations were used in 1918 and 20.
Right.
They, in the last 30 years of academia, that recession alone and recession or not recession is not the way to analyze economics anymore.
Okay.
Between recession and no recession, you have about 6 or 7 different shades of a graph that you can put there.
Right.
Yeah, so
you never know. Maybe
petroleum prices may have gone up. It's not during a recession.
Right.
So in the modern days, you may not be in a recession, but they will be unhappy about the economic situation.
Yeah.
So again, if he's using the word recession and the context of how it looked like many years ago, academia has gone beyond that.
Beyond that, yeah.
Because academia is evaluating how people feel about things. So just that the gas price at the pump in America for us, no.
Yeah.
No, you are not with her.
And
you are likely to have the keys collapse.
Yeah, and that's why your keys are similar to the polls. Do you understand? Because the polls show Trump ahead.
They show Trump ahead on economics.
Yes.
So you say there's no recession?
Yeah, they show him ahead.
Because he's done an excellent job.
Yes.
And they say he's the Michael Jordan of economic predications.
Right. But
and there's a long-term economy key. They said this measures the real annual capital economic growth during the term equals or exceeds mean growth during the 2 previous terms.
Right.
The answer is true. Is it true? That the growth during Biden exceeds the growth
because people people see the Trump era as being better in the economy.
So both economics, he has true there. Policy change key. The incumbent administration effects major changes in national policy. He says it's true.
Well, I mean, I guess he's thinking about the infrastructure bill, and a lot of the inflation bill.
No social unrest. That one too, he says it's true. That's not
major social
something that goes across all the states.
Yeah, across all the states, and it's causing demonstrations. Like in Ghana, if the organized labor had succeeded in doing their strike, that would have been like a big social unrest across the country.
Okay, so the Palestinian one doesn't qualify. It's not big enough.
It could be. It's just that it's more bigger in some states like Michigan, where you have the Arab Americans. But yeah. So under this circumstance, it depends how you look at social unrest. That's why you can do this at home. But if you can argue that the Israel-Palestinian issue is causing a lot of upheaval in America, if you can argue that way.
Scandal says it's true. Well, the scandal is with Biden. It's not with Kamala Harris. It's not with Harris. So yeah, it's true.
But which Biden scandal will you
Hunter.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Then he has no major foreign military failures. He says it's false though.
Yeah, it means the incumbent. So he's saying that the incumbent party candidate is not charismatic. The incumbent party candidate is charismatic or a national hero.
That one is false.
Okay.
And then the opposition too is not a charismatic. That one too is. So that's true for the incumbent.
Yeah.
On the opposition side. But the person you're challenging is also not a national hero. It's true.
Right. I mean, that's
1 false, 2 false, 3 false. Then he has 4 false. And then 5 false. Yes.
So by his, Kamala wins.
Yes.
But by yours, Trump wins.
Well, if he will agree with my economic situation.
It's a countdown to that big day. We'll see what happens.
Wow, excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, viewers, for watching. Good night.